All right, hey everyone. Mark here. Hold on. Just adjusting this microphone. All right, here we go. All right, hey everyone. Mark here, Mark P Markets. Thank you for joining me for another Bitcoin video analysis. I know there's a lot of nutty things going on here, and we're going to address all of this. So let's just say hello. If you're new to the stream, welcome. Now hold on. I am streaming on TradingView. Let me see. So far, I haven't gotten an error, so I guess I am streaming over there. Okay, cool. That's good. So welcome, everyone. So if you're new to the stream, let me explain. So here's what I do first. First, we go over the economic calendar very quickly. Then we talk about this Bitcoin situation, all right, which in this case, we're going to talk about the fifth wave and what you need to know about it. That's basically the title. And of course, we're going to talk about the levels that you should be aware of. And I'm going to talk about what it takes to catch a move like this. Because I know I've been getting a lot of messages, a lot of frustrated people because the trade scanner has not called any longs during this. So I'm going to explain why and what can be done about that. Okay. And then perhaps we can take a look at if there's any, maybe Steen wants to share like a trade scanner trade or something, and we could take a quick look at that. I'm going to try to keep it brief today. I'm going to try to stay about 30 minutes. Okay. All right. So let's get this thing started. Also, if you want to share what city or what country you're from, that's always a fun fact. I'm streaming from the greater New York City area, also known as Northern New Jersey. So this is for educational purposes only. For investment advice, please consult a licensed investment advisor. Okay, feel free to say hello, introduce yourself, whatever. I can't see anything. Maybe I need to refresh the browser. Are you guys typing anything? Hold on. Let me refresh this. Hopefully I don't get kicked out. Oh, there we go. Oh, we got another guy from Belgium. Cool. Maybe Steen's neighbor. Okay, cool. And over people on TradingView, please say hello. Don't be shy. All right. So let me get this thing off here. All right. Hold on. Let me turn this thing off. Educational purposes only. We got that. Okay, cool. All right. So first things first, economic calendar. Now, I want to see if you guys have been paying attention. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. What do we have this week that you believe is important? Anyone? Bahrain, hey, welcome. That's not a city that I see very often. Is that a city or a country? I should know that, right? American people, we never know anything about geography. So anyone want to chime in on, hey, Poraya, how are you? Anyone want to chime in on what's important on the economic calendar real quick this week? I'll give you a hint. There's only one thing. Milad, how are you? Oh, you moved. Okay. Oh, yeah, because they blocked me or something. I tried to stream. I was on YouTube, but I tried to come over on TradingView and I got an error. So I don't know. I don't know what that was about. But anyway, well, I appreciate you trying. But yeah, I'm streaming. Okay. Hey, Howard. CPI, Howard says. No, I don't know what we're talking about. US news. If it's CPI for like something else, no, CPI is usually the second week. Do we have CPI this week? It's confusing because this is really like the first week of March, is it not? Brussels. All right. Hey, Christos, how are you? Sean, how are you? Good to see you guys. All right. Jersey here, in case you haven't figured it out. So anyone want to chime in? So CPI, Howard, if that's true, what day and time is CPI? Do you know? Because the CPI report is actually an important report. But I was hinting at something else, which Tokyo. Okay, good. Thank you for pointing that out, because Tokyo doesn't matter. Okay, the CPI for Tokyo, no one cares. It's not I'm not trying to be sarcastic. It's just it's not a big market moving number. We're only interested in market moving numbers, something that could move the dollar in a dramatic way, something that could move the S&P, something that can move Bitcoin. But it's mostly, the key thing is the dollar and the bonds. Those are like the main things. When those markets move in a dramatic way as a result of economic news, then you see effects in other markets like, the NASDAQ, Bitcoin, things like that. Steen, okay, that's Riot. Okay, cool. Thanks for sharing that. Fed Chair Powell, Steen says. Okay, what day? Day and time. When is Chairman Powell speaking? Is he speaking? Oh, there we go. UTXO. You got it. That was the main one I was hinting at, is non-farm payrolls. Non-farm payrolls is probably the most important, next to an FOMC meeting, Non-farm payrolls is the most important economic news that's scheduled every month. It's usually the first Friday of every month, okay? But the previous Friday was March 1st. Technically, I guess that was the first Friday, but I don't know. I guess they don't do their work on time or something. I don't know why they push it over, but I guess this week is considered the first week of March. I don't know. All I know is non-farm payrolls is this Friday. All right, that's a pretty big number. And that could move markets in a dramatic way if there are any surprises. Now, if you remember the month before, CPI was a little bit of a surprise. It came out hotter. So that type of inflationary information may also be reflected in this non-farm payrolls. Again, we can't sit here and I could guess all kinds of scenarios. It doesn't matter what we think. What matters is what actually comes out. So the whole idea is to be prepared, okay? Prepared for a range expansion one way or the other. So that means don't have large positions on. If you have positions on, maybe you should take something off the table, mitigate risk, okay? Or maybe you don't really have anything big on, so you're like, all right, whatever, I'll let it ride. A lot of times non-farm payrolls is a non-event. Like there's a little bit of like activity and then it just kind of, you know, it's not really like a huge mover, right? But historically it has been. So you have to keep an eye on that. Okay. Yeah, non-farm payrolls is pretty important. More important than Powell's testes. I guess you mean his testimonies. I hope that's what you mean. Okay. Okay. March 6th at 1600 hour. So what is that, Steen? Is that which one is that? Oh, okay. The Chairman Powell testifies. Yes. So 4 o'clock on the 16th today. Oh, the 16th. Oh, no, I'm sorry, the 6th. Okay, so where am I getting? I'm all over the place today. I'm sorry, guys. That's in 2 days, right? So that's what, Wednesday? Wednesday, Chairman Powell testimony. So yes, he can move markets if he says something surprising, but he may say something that's not surprising. And if that's the case, you probably won't see anything dramatic, but you have to be aware and be prepared. Okay, so that's after the market close, 1600. Okay. Giovanni from Mexico, another guy from Mexico. You must know Tino. Mucho gusto. Bienvenido. Bienvenido. ¿Cómo estás? Okay, I'm no more Spanish lessons for today, but welcome. All right, I do try to speak Spanish. All right, so you haven't missed anything yet. We're just talking about the economic calendar. Okay, cool. All right, so guys, following me on that. So basically, we only have 2 things worth talking about, right? There was someone mentioned something else here. What was it? Let me just look back. Initial jobless claims, right? Something like that. It appears important, but usually it's supposed to be like a hint of NFP, but it's usually not a market mover. I wouldn't worry about initial jobless claims. So it's Chairman Powell and non-farm payroll. Those are the only things you need to pay attention to. Everything else, because there are other things on the calendar, everything else is pretty much not event type of stuff. So you don't have to worry about it in terms of putting on positions or managing positions or mitigating risk. Okay. All right. So let's move on because I keep talking about it. Oh, Belgian time. Oh, okay. Cool. Oh, so that's probably what? That may be like, I don't know what time that is, US time. Maybe someone wants to translate that. All right, cool. Anyway, so that's the economic calendar. You guys should be in the habit of checking that every week. There's one on TradingView. There's one, it doesn't matter which one you use. All right, cool. No one's watching me on TradingView. I got Steen over there. Hey, Steen. By the way, speaking of Steen, if you check the links in the description, you'll notice there are 2 affiliate links, one for Bybit and one for MEXC. Okay, those are affiliate links for Steen. If you open an account and you fund account at one of these exchanges, maybe you're looking for a new exchange, Steen will get a small cut every time you place a trade. Now you say, well, who cares? Well, by supporting Steen, you're supporting our entire community because he's the guy responsible for all the technology and all the great conveniences that he's developed over the recent months. Okay. Thanks to him, I have a program where I could send out notes to like Twitter and all over the Discord community very quickly because he built a nice program and he's still working on some other things. Okay. One thing that's coming in the pipeline is the trade scanner will soon be able to take trades on your behalf. Okay. So again, help the guy out. He's doing a lot of work. All right. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. Also, another thing on that note, I had a student meeting on Thursday. It was good. Some people came. And we went over some interesting things, but I had a special offer. I want to let you guys know that I'm going to extend that offer to the stream today. I'm not going to share any links, but if you're interested, you can still save 20% on the trade scanner on yearly packages. Okay. Yearly. If you want to save some money, contact me, send me an email or send me a private message on the server, on the Discord server, and I will send you a special link and coupon that you can use to save the 20%. Now, listen carefully. If you do that today, I still will include my training program for free. I'm still going to make that offer available. Okay. Listen again, training program. It's worth $299. You can see that at markpmarkets.com. Again, Steven, maybe you want to share the link to that so people can see the link of the training site. But if you want that, the whole package there, plus the signals from the trade scanner and save 20% and get all that, send me a message and I will send you the information. Okay. Anyway, cool. So let's move along. We're meant to send that from my, okay. All right. Anyway, I'm just looking at the chats here. All right, man, no one's on TradingView. Okay. Where's Malad? Is Malad here on YouTube? Where's, oh, he is on YouTube. Okay. Usually he follows me on TradingView. Anyway, cool. So that's it with the economic calendar. I mentioned those other things. Let's talk about Bitcoin, shall we? Now, I'm going to make my chart bigger. Okay, because you can see what's going on here. All right. And by the way, for people that aren't interested in the yearly package for the trade scanner, you can get a 1-week free trial. If you just go to the marketsignalspro.com website, you sign up for whatever asset class you're interested in, coins, stocks, Forex, and you get 1 week for free. It's very easy to cancel. If you don't cancel, you'll get billed. It's $59 a month. Okay. And if you want it cheaper than that, that's what you go for the yearly for. But if you want the free trial, again, you put your information in, and if you cancel within a week, you don't get billed. If you don't cancel, you will get billed. It's very easy to cancel. You just go to your dashboard and you cancel it. I have not had any problems with that. Okay. Anyway, Antwerp. Oh, cool. All right. Again, I don't know where that is. You're going to have to tell me where that is. What's that next to in the world? All right. By the way, any of you guys on the TradingView contest, they're having a paper trade contest. Are you guys aware of that? It's a really cool contest. It's interesting. But you have to read the rules. Make sure you read the rules because it's limited. The size is limited and the markets are limited. You can't just trade anything, right? But they have a leaderboard. It's a 1-month contest. You could win up to $10,000. I'm not here to promote all that, but I'm just curious. Anyone in that? It's only available to people who actually have a premium version of their platform, from what I read in their rules. Okay. Anyway, I do not get the alert that you are online any longer. It is not easy to find your streams because I use a free account. But then I used to. Oh, that's strange, Steve. Thanks for mentioning that. I don't know, but you know what? The week before, I wasn't able to stream on TradingView. I was blocked. I got an error for some reason. I don't know what the problem was there. Okay. You're in the contest. Cool. Yeah, it's interesting. I think that's interesting. I was thinking about like the strategies that would have to be utilized for something like that within their limitations that they have. But I'd definitely like to hear more about that. So anyway, let's move on. Anyone else in the contest, the Leap contest? Let's move on here. They say that Antwerp is the city and the rest of Belgium. Oh, it's in Belgium. Oh, okay. I had no idea. See, I learned something new every day. Antwerp. All right. So now Bitcoin. This is a very dramatic situation, right? Now I'm seeing all on YouTube, right in my feed. I'm seeing all the videos. I'm seeing Bitcoin going to 100K. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff popping up now. These altcoins next, blah, 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 blah. It's as if, retail decides that, now is the time to get in, right? So they're all getting excited here. Now, let me ask you guys a quick question. Does that look like a bottom to you or does that look like a top? What do you guys think? That should be a pretty easy answer. Now, let me show you guys something real quick. All right. So we're going to go to the monthly chart. Okay. This is the monthly chart of Bitcoin. All right. Look at this. Do you see those levels that I put on the chart coincide with that, basically? That's the previous all-time high of 69K, basically. Top. You guys are saying top. Of course, it's pretty clear. So if you're part of retail, we all are, and you're getting excited now, look where you're getting excited, right? So now people can criticize me and say, oh, the whole time you've been saying it's bearish. I haven't. I've been just warning of the risk. And I will always warn of the risk at highs. At 52K, I was warning. At 60K, now we're at like 67K. And I'm going to continue to warn, because when you push highs like this, okay, the risk increases dramatically. If people think it's just going to do this, I mean, anything is possible, but the probability of that is very low. So here's the other thing that I have to mention. It's very important. And we're going to go back to the daily chart for this. Okay. If you notice, I have these waves, the wave count on this chart, right? I had to readjust. I had to relabel over here, that 40K area. I thought this was a B wave. Turns out that this is a whole impulse wave, and I relabeled it. Okay. And basically, when wave 4 was pretty clear, I labeled that. I was hoping for a pullback into 48.5. We never got the pullback. And here we are now. All right. And this is clearly a wave 5. Now, this is a fifth of a fifth wave. So once this completes, this is this little section right here, 5 of 5. This entire section from here to here is wave 5 on the bigger picture. And in that, we are in the fifth wave of it. So whenever you come across a wave 5, when you're doing wave counts, there are only two wave structures that you should be most interested in, and the ones that are most forecastable, and that is wave 4 and wave 5. Wave 4 is because it implies there's one more wave to go, right? So it's very easy to spot a wave 4 and get yourself on the right side, right? Wave 4 is going to occur on many magnitudes, but you always want to be aware of a wave 4 because a wave 5 is likely to follow. When you wave 5, what's likely to follow next? What's next is a corrective structure, okay? Now, when you're on a magnitude like this, that means the corrective structure can take out all of these levels. That's what that means, right? So wave 5, the way I like to interpret that, because again, this is not a forecast. Wave 5 can extend. Maybe we touch 71K, right? Maybe we do a failed high. We make the new high. Everyone gets excited. The whole world buys in, and then it fails, right? Maybe we get that. But for this thing to go straight to like 80K or 90K, like I said, anything is possible, but the probability of that is low. So you want to align yourself with the probabilities, not these low probability home run situations, right? If you're betting on something that only has like a 10 or 20% probability, and you happen to be right that one time, you're going to now cement this bias in your mind. And you say, oh, it worked that time, I'll do it again. And then you're going to get caught, okay? You don't want to get caught. So there are ways around this, and I'm going to explain this in a moment, but this is the risk that you face. So if this thing fails anywhere inside of this range, you know, somewhere between 62K and 69K, or maybe we push into the low 70s and it fails, and we get a real confirmation failure, like a pin bar, like on a weekly chart, all of this becomes open game, like probable, right? So the first support in that area, forget this one up here. This is not even, this is too minor. It's too close, right? You're looking at like this level here. What was that, like 56K? Something like that. Now, it won't go there in a straight line. But, you know, it'll jumble around, try to pop up, suck more people in. Next thing you know, it's testing this, right? Next thing you know, it's testing this. That can take a few weeks, maybe a few months. It usually starts with some unexpected news. Now, I say this all the time. I repeat myself a lot, but I'm just telling you, this is how it works. Back in 21, when we had all the altcoins looking exactly like this, I gave out the same warnings. So again, as an investor, you should not be excited about these levels unless you're long from much lower prices. Then you should be selling something. Take something off the table. Lock in some profits, okay? But investing up here at these levels with large amounts is a bad idea. If you're investing small, okay, you can invest small, right? Because if it pulls back, who cares? But if you have like, you know, all you have is $10,000 and you throw it all in because this thing is going to 100K, you're taking an enormous risk. What matters is the risk, not the reward. I know that sounds counterintuitive. It's hard to understand, but it's people chasing rewards are what cost you money. You don't realize that. Now, all right, so enough of that rant. Let's talk about how you can get involved in this in a way that's more risk responsible, okay? So during this, let's go to a smaller time frame. Let's go to a 4-hour chart, because look at this, right? Look at these. Can anyone tell me what these are? Here, I'm going to draw something here. Can anyone tell me what these are? What is that? And what is this? Can anyone tell me what those are? Anyone want to take a guess? And if you say, I don't know, you can say that. Let me see what people are saying in the chat here. Can anyone tell me what those formations are called? Okay, I'm just trying to read. Hey, how are you? M. Havoc. Haven't seen you in a while. Using the impulse wave that just finished from its, we are in the fifth, right, exactly. Consolidation, you guys are correct. Consolidation, right? That's the word I was looking for. Now, when you have a strong trend, you realize that these formations are the equivalent of an inside bar. An inside bar is really nothing more than a consolidation. Right? So these are basically elongated inside bars. When you have a trend that's crystal clear like this, it's been bullish. It's been bullish for quite some time. Since we broke like 45, 48, whatever, since we've been pushing, there's no question, right? There's nothing bearish going on here. When it breaks the highs of these ranges, those were entries. In fact, I wrote about this one the week before. I said, we break 52K, this thing can go nuts, right? I mentioned that in my TradingView article. If you read that, I mentioned this here too. We break out. If you read the article that I published yesterday, we break out, this thing can push, okay? And that's the push. So that's one way. Breakout, it's a breakout style. Not one of my favorite styles, but when you have a trend that's this solid, it's worth a try if you're aggressive, okay? Look at this little mini one in here. Now, something like this, I'm showing you a 4-hour chart, right? Something like this, this would be like a play for like a 30-minute. In fact, let's see if we can just take a look at a 30-minute real quick. And I could show you what that looks like on there, right? On a 30-minute chart, what is that? Let's go. Let me just go back and draw a. Let me draw a what do you call it? That wasn't it. Hold on. Let me draw a square on there so I can see it. Let's go to a 30-minute. I have to go back a little bit. Okay. Let's go back a bit. All right. So see that's the square. See that square? That's that little section, that little tiny section on the 4-hour chart. Once again, it's a consolidation. Look, you have this little consolidation right there. So even on the 30-minute, look, they're all over the place. You got another one. Now, the thing is, when you take trades like that, when you're looking for these continuation patterns, look, another one, right? Your stop is basically going to go below the consolidation. But you can't, the mistake not to make is, because we have the benefit of seeing this after the fact. If you take a breakout on something like this, I'm going to get it up here. That's a bad idea because you're buying near a top. We just don't know where the top is. So what can you do? Well, whatever you risk, right? Whatever the size of this consolidation is from high to low. Let's say you're going to take the breakout on the high. Okay, 57,615. Okay, let's just say that's where you were going to do it. Okay, and you're looking at the low of the range. You don't have to use the pin bar low. You can use this common low over here, 56,735. Right. So how much money is that? That's about 800 points, something like that. That's basically your risk, right? So you want to look for at least that on the move higher, at least. So that's fair. 1-to-1 reward risk, but you should be looking for more, like 1.5-to-1. That's fair. You want to look for 2-to-1 because the trend is so strong. Okay, but that's if you're going to be looking for 3-to-1, 4-to-1, because now you're getting aggressive. And the more you look for it, the less of a chance you're going to get there without some kind of problem first, right? Something like this can shake you out, right? It'll scare you out because you think, okay, the top is in. I better get out of this thing. So that's the thing. You're looking for continuation patterns on smaller time frames, right? That's what allows you to participate in something like this. Now, let's talk real quick about, I'm going back to the daily chart. Let's talk about the trade scanner and why the trade scanner failed to pick anything up. during this dramatic move? Because I know a lot of people are like, what's up with this trade scanner? Now, hold on. I see a lot of talk here. What's going on? Looking for Bitcoin short in short term. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just looking at this here. Why are you looking at shorts? Okay. Well, in this situation, again, if you're looking at shorts, we talked about a short actually a week ago. Before I mentioned the trade scanner, we talked about a short because there was a pin bar trying to set up like a week ago. And I remember one guy saying that he was anxious because he doesn't want to miss the short. I said, it's extremely aggressive. If you go for it, expect very little. The key part, though, is if you go short and it takes out the high of that candle that you got in, there's no question you must get out. Because if you don't, you're running the risk of getting caught in one of these moves, right? And you don't want to get caught in this. When Bitcoin gets ridiculous, or these markets get ridiculous like this, they can extend far and basically squeeze out a lot of people, and you wipe out your account, right? And as soon as you get knocked out, that's when the market turns. So it's a bad idea. Like if you don't have a lot of experience, I would say it's a bad idea. Okay, I don't short Bitcoin at all. All right. Okay. Bill, it's for contest. Oh, okay. Yeah. So Sean, as long as you're taking small bites, no problem. You know, small bites, and I would imagine you're using a smaller time frame to gauge that. Anyway, but yeah, if it's for the contest, you could be as aggressive as you want. It's a paper trade, right? Anyway, so you guys see my points that I'm making here. These consolidation breakouts, right? That's what you look for on smaller time frames right now. There are other methods too, but this is the easiest one. It's a breakout strategy. And if you're going to do breakouts, which I'm not a big fan of, again, I'm going to repeat that, at least do it when the market is ridiculous like this. This is ridiculous. It's just vertical, okay? And this is a very solid, very clear impulse wave, and we're at the fifth of the fifth, as M. Havoc pointed out. So again, chances are this thing is going to turn soon, but when? There's no way to know. There's, like I said, thing may extend further, and we may get the failed high up here and get everyone really excited about it, okay? Understand that the magnitude of risk is extremely high. So I just showed you smaller time frames is how you mitigate that. If you're wrong, you go long now, and this thing struggles, right? What are you going to lose? 500 points, you get stopped out, whatever, 300 points, you take the loss, and that's that, right? And you're not exposed to a 10 or 15,000 point pullback, which is very reasonable. I mean, look, right now, you realize this thing can pull back, right? The A wave, which we don't even have the beginning of, can easily pull back and stay above this wave 4, right? Or even stay above this wave 1. I mean, look at this, right? I mean, usually wave 4 is not supposed to overlap wave 1. So that clearly was that clearly was the case here. But a wave A can easily be 3 legs and work its way backward that way. Easily. That shouldn't be that hard for it to do. Again, usually that comes along with some unexpected catalyst. Okay, so a market doesn't correct just because we feel like it's going to correct or we want it to, right? That doesn't happen. Usually there's some kind of news that sparks it. It starts it, right? And usually the first thing you see is a big red candle. It gives like a whole move back. I mean, look, let's go back to the monthly again. Okay? And let's look back. Let's go back here and look at the turnaround the first time. Remember 69K the first time? Do you remember what even turned this thing around? I don't even remember the catalyst. But look at the monthly chart. So again, you see something like this on the monthly over the next month or two, the top is likely in at that point. Does that make sense? I mean, look at history here. History repeats itself, but not exactly the same way. So keep this in mind. Okay, let's look at a weekly chart. What's the weekly look like from that time? Let's take a look, right? So in 1 week, we came off that high. I mean, look at this nasty candle. Okay, look at that. Look what happened a few weeks earlier. Bearish pin bar. So it was coming. Okay, usually the bearish pin bar, someone unloads, right? That's the theory. Someone unloads. And then look, it tried one more, failed high, and then this. So that's what a top looks like. Okay, we don't have that, right? Look at this. We don't have that. Look how close we are to the all-time high. We don't have anything that looks like this. We don't have anything that looks like this. Look at this back here. So that's what you should be looking for in this area. Okay. And obviously, when you're looking at a weekly chart, it can take a few weeks for that to unfold, which means we don't just turn around. Right? We may pop up. We may have like a little weak candle. We may pop up again. You get the idea. Just look back at those peaks. Okay. That's what you should be looking for. If we don't get that, then you're looking at 75, 80K possibly. I don't want to have a closed mind. I just believe that the probability is low. Okay. And if you're in from low prices, at least take something off the table, let some ride and see how far it goes. At this moment, there's no reason to sell. Okay. But that can change over the next few days. So are we clear? I covered what wave 5 is. I covered what this can turn into. I also covered how to work with this on smaller time frames so that you don't have to continue to miss out. Now, let me mention something about the trade scanner here. Okay. The trade scanner works on smaller time frames, and its primary time frame is the 4-hour, right? That's basically where it places the most weight, okay? Now, the trade scanner got long on 218, which is back here, right? The trade scanner got long here. And you're like, whoa, that's amazing, right? But the trade scanner exited here somewhere. It was like 53K or whatever. The trade scanner like exited right there. And you're like, oh man, that sucks. Look at this, missed all of that. And it has not had a new call ever since. It only called Matic the other day, but it's not calling anything. And I got people, they message me, well, what's up with the trade scanner? We're missing all this action. Well, it's because we're not getting a proportional pullback, right? This is not enough of a pullback. Even this is not enough of a pullback. Usually in something like this, the trade scanner will become active, but even this hasn't pulled back enough. So that's why it's not calling anything. I mean, this thing has mostly been producing just vertical lines, right? And the trade scanner doesn't chase, it waits for pullbacks. So that's why I'm actually working on a solution, which I'm not going to talk a whole lot about. I still have to talk to Stian about it, but I'm working on a solution to solve this. You know, when you have a nutty move like this, a way to participate on these smaller time frames, because the trade scanner doesn't evaluate them, right? Like if this was a 30-minute chart or a 15-minute chart, then most likely you would have had a signal in here somewhere, okay? On a smaller time frame, maybe even a 5-minute chart, you would have some signals in here, all right? But on a 4-hour, it's not enough of a pullback. It's all proportional to the time frame. Does that make sense? So again, I'm working on a solution, but that's going to take some time to implement. Anyway, all right, you guys. So let's see what people are saying here in the chat. Okay, let me just go back a bit. Let me go back a bit. So Stian put Riot. We're going to go over Riot blockchain here in a moment, the stock. Okay, can you take shorts? You can take shorts here in a 5-minute chart, but you have to be right. Let me just see if I missed anything. Okay. No, Sean's been real good. Like he's taken my training. Like he knows what's going on. Wouldn't rather buy and hold the secular trend, but try to start a 5-minute time frame. Okay. Well, the secular trend is still intact, right? Until it's not. And when it pulls back, like if you're going to be long, hopefully you're long from lower prices. Hopefully you took something off the table. Trying to participate in this now is high risk. I'll always say that at highs. You got to be nuts to buy this thing now with all of your size, with your whole account, and be like, all right, we're just getting started. We're not just getting started. Okay, chances of pullback are high. I'm not bearish on Bitcoin. I'm just saying this potential is very limited. And if I'm going to buy something as a swing trade, I want it at much lower prices. I'm not doing it now. Okay, it's either that or a smaller time frame consolidation breakout. Okay. Sean says, Bill, I don't buy highs. Good thinking, Sean. And I don't trade on news. Some good habits he's adopted there. Does anyone else have intermittent or maybe Dijon, maybe you need to refresh the browser? That usually helps. Okay, bearish and golfing. Okay, so all right, I'm just going back in the chat here. Dodgy. Okay, Armin. Hold on. Looking at 2020 break. Okay. Let me just see what's going on here on TradingView, because I never get anyone talking to me on there. Let me see what's going on. Isn't it better to compare this place with the break? I don't understand. Is it better to compare this place with the break all-time high instead of the top? I'm not sure. I don't understand that question. And the speed it's going at. Okay, I'm just going back. Seems like gold and Bitcoin are breaking. Gold is going nuts. I wrote about gold 2 weeks ago on February 16th. I wrote about gold, XAU. It was a note to my community, USD. Look at this. I wrote about gold. You guys that are in my server, okay, Sean and Steen and a few other people here, you guys saw that note. I wrote it right there, okay? And I said, this is an interesting place. I talked about there was some trouble. I was having some trouble there, and I described that whole thing in that note. I mean, I was not expecting this, but I talked about the long possibility, okay, the failed low. I mean, this is unbelievable. And this is where, again, people see this, right? Now you're going to have all those gold people come out. Gold's going to 5,000, blah, 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 blah. Don't believe that, please. First thing that you should do, go to your monthly chart. It's the first thing that you should do, okay? Now, has gold broken out of its range yet? Let's see. Maybe it has. Gold has been in a consolidation for years. Let's go back here. Yeah, I guess this would be the more recent consolidation. Look, from 2021 to where we are now. Are we higher? Look at that. That is a breakout. Wow. That's well, actually, no, we were higher recently. Look at this little pin bar over here, right? So we're almost back to the high, but this is breaking out. Higher low, higher low. I would anticipate the higher high. I mean, let's take a look at the bonds real quick, right? Bonds still working their way lower. This trend is lower, okay? So rates are, this is strange. Rates are basically poised to rise, right? As bond prices go lower, rates rise, the dollar gets stronger, but we have Bitcoin at all-time highs basically, and gold is pushing highs. Strange, very strange. Like it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, but you can't sit there and have these economic battles. You just have to be like, all right, look, it is what it is. Don't fight it, okay? Just accept it and trade on the side of the momentum and the broader trend. That's the best we can do. All right, let's go back to the daily chart. But that's a very interesting situation here. All right, let's go back to Bitcoin. All right, so you guys following me? So I had a couple of questions here. Let's see. Well, first I want to go over Riot. I'm here. Oh, cool. All right. Let's see. Let me just go back. Let me do Riot blockchain real quick. You guys following me so far? Any other questions? So Steen put in, was that a trade? I believe that was a trade Steen put in. Here it is. Right. So this is a trade scanner trade. Okay. This is Riot blockchain. Let's take a look. Right. And let's see what this thing says. This is the daily chart. All right. We have to go to the 4-hour chart. That's where we put the orders. So this thing is long today. Let's see, at 1490. Actually, let's see, where's the stop? 1271. Let's go to 1271. 1270 is around here somewhere. By the way, do you guys remember the trade of the week from like, what was it, a week ago? Was it Pfizer? Do you remember that short? I wonder how that turned out. So we have the stop there, okay? The entry price, 1490. Damn. That's up here. That's the entry. This thing looks like garbage already. All right, let's take a look. And the take profit is, what is that? 1818. All right. That's up in here. Okay, that's the trade scanner trade. Okay. Now, this was called earlier today on Riot blockchain. Now, this thing follows Bitcoin generally, at least it's supposed to. I don't know what's going on here. That certainly doesn't look like Bitcoin. But this thing called a long, now let's point something out here, right? Let's make this real big. This is something you need to see. I had a whole session about this during my student meeting on Thursday, which I invited everyone to. And we talked about situations like this. It called the long here, okay, basically. Let me ask you guys a quick question. And let's do this. I was running through this whole exercise about doing these replays like this. Okay, so you can't see what's ahead. And then managing the trade once it's in play by judging the candles. We ran through a few of those exercises, right, as a group. Let me ask you something. This right now, let me just play one candle on this thing, right? I'm replaying it, one candle. Now, that's the long. Let me ask you guys a question. Would you take this long? Anyone? Would you take this long? Yes or no? You could say, I don't know, if you're not familiar. That's why we do this exercise. Oh, wrong thing. Trying to, there we go. Anyone? You could say yes, you could say no, you could say, I don't know. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. Fives are closed in profit. Oh, nice. That was trade of the week. By the way, if you're not in trade of the week, just go to Market Signals Pro. There's a link in the description. You can sign up for the free trade. Every week, a new free trade comes out from the trade scanner, and it rotates. So one week we have a coin, then we have a stock, then we have a Forex pair, right? Each week it rotates. If you want all the signals from one currency, one asset class, you become a member, okay? And if you want that membership for a year, like I said, you can save 20%. Just contact me. Okay, you guys don't know? Shorts, yes or no? Isaac, no. Isaac is a student. That's why he knows. Okay, Armin says no. Bearish pin bar, previous support, would not end. Steen says no. You guys are correct. So what you guys have just done was you filtered the trade scanner. This is why like the trade scanner is such a valuable tool, because it calls the long and you're like, I'm not taking that long. That's a bearish pin bar. It's a lower high on top of it. Trade scanner, what the hell are you thinking? This is not a long. I mean, that's pretty clearly not a long. They're always not going to work out this way, but this is a stop out that you would avoid. Now, when we play this thing forward, that's what we get. Okay, bearish pin bar, and now look, failed blow situation. In fact, the bot may pick this up as a long again. If this thing closes like this, and then we get a candle that looks like this, it may call it long again. Sometimes you get like those double calls. That's what's happening, right? You get the failed low, and then it gives you something like this, right? I don't know about this thing as a long, right? So when you're making that judgment, right? So the pin bar there was the tell. The pin bar said you don't go long this thing, right? So you avoid, you manage the trade, right? You made an important judgment. Now, hold on, my chart just turned off. Okay, there we go. So let's go to the daily chart real quick and just answer the question, like, should we be taking this thing long in the first place, right? Is this thing generally a long? Well, we have the failed low situation developing here. This is not exactly a bearish trend. We have a double top. I mean, it has a possibility, and the only reason I say that is because we have this structure right here. That's a bullish structure, right? So, I mean, you could do like your retracements. You're basically at the 50% area. This thing may bounce a bit. So it's not an ideal long, but I could see the possibility there. Okay, so if it calls a long again, maybe you want to consider it if it's at a better level. But I was able to show you, right, on that 4-hour chart, basically, you could make the trade scanner work for you because you're not going to take a trade like this, right? So you can filter the trade scanner. And that's what makes it very powerful, because like I always suggest, you shouldn't take it blindly, right? You shouldn't take the trades blindly. You should do some judgment, but you don't have to be like an expert with 10 years of experience. You don't need to do that. How hard is it to judge a pin bar? It's not that hard. You don't need to, you need to know at least some charting basics, but you don't need like, ridiculous amount of experience is my point. All right. It's relatively easy. So that was Riot Blockchain. Thank you, Steen, for sharing that. Okay. So I know people are asking lots of questions here. Let me just go back to the chat because I can't see what's going on. Uh-oh. 4-hour pin bar developing. Don't get excited. This is exactly what was going on a week ago. And people are like, I want to short this thing. I want to short. You can short it, but be careful, right? If you short this, let me just give you this example real quick. I gotta sign off here in a moment. You short something. First of all, this has to close. Second, if you short this, takes out the low, and the next candle takes out this high, you must get out of the short, because this thing is frisky. Like this thing, people are just itching to buy it. You don't want to get caught. Okay, you don't want to get caught. So again, I would suggest that if you have some experience, you know what I'm talking about. If you're new, it's a bad idea. Or if you want to experiment, you can do what Sean is doing, right? And take it on paper. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. Sean says, I took Riot option and bailed in the first 15 minutes. Okay. See? Perfect. So first of all, taking option limits your loss to begin. So that was a good choice. And you don't sit there and let this thing bully you. You just, hey, this thing's not acting right, out. Not that hard, right? So Sean's got it. It turned right when the scanner called it. Interesting. Okay. But that's good judgment, Sean. Good judgment. All right. So is this a hammer bar? I see a question here on TradingView. Well, it's an inverted hammer or whatever. There's names for these things. Don't get confused by the names. All you need to know is the location, right? Because the names can be confusing. There are hammers, there's stars, there's this, there's that. It's a pin bar. That's all you need to know, pin bar. And you need to know that where it sides the pin on. The pin is this long tail. If the pin is at the top, it's bearish. If the pin is on the bottom, it's bullish. But the thing is, if you have a bottom pin, right, at this location, that's not bullish. All right, so the location is key. If you want to learn more about that, I mean, I go over that in my training program. Pin bars and inside bars are really all you need to know when it comes to candlesticks. They're probably the most easy to recognize and they're very common, and there's a lot you can do with those candles. That's all you need to know. But the key is the location, the context. They can appear randomly. All patterns and candles and everything else can appear randomly. So just because a pin bar appears doesn't mean that it has value. Okay, it's where it appears that gives it value. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, no problem, you guys. All right, so again, let me just say something. If you guys are interested in saving 20%, all right, click on the link in the description. You can go to the website. You can sign up. But the thing is, you have to send me a message. Send me a private message, and I will give you a coupon. You can save 20% on the yearly packages. That's $100 on the individual asset classes, and that's almost $200 on the active investor. That's some decent savings. And I'll give you access to my training program for free. That's $299 value. All right, I hate to sound like a commercial, but that's a decent offer. I think you should be aware of it. So let me know. Send me a private message or send me an email, okay, at mark@markpmarkets.com or support@marketsignalspro.com. You can contact me one of those places, or go into the server, send me a private message there, and I'll send you the information that you need, okay, the coupon code and the link and all that stuff. All right, enough of that. Okay, you guys. So if I missed your question, I apologize. I have to wrap this up now, so I'm sorry. I'm on here every Monday, and again, we have a lot of new things coming out. We have things in the pipeline. It just takes some time. You know, Steen can only do so much work, right? And he's working on stuff. So just please be patient. I'm working on some of these solutions so that you can participate in these things. The next trade scanner update that he's working on, by the way, is a trailing stop. Okay, so there'll be a trailing stop reference. So when something starts to move, right, you'll have a reference point to trail. So in a situation like this, right, instead of exiting the whole position at 53K and this thing wants to run, well, this thing will give you a nice reference point on where you should put your stop and run with it, right? So that it wants to pay you more, why not take more? These situations are rare, but they do happen. And if you can increase your reward risk ratio, that's the key to accumulating profit over time. Okay, and I went over a lot of that in my student meeting. Okay, anyway, you guys, do I have to buy the package? I plan to sign up for the trade signals. Well, yeah, it's all together. The signal you get, if you go to the site, it explains everything is on all those packages. Signals come with everything, right? You get the signals, you get the student meetings, you get the archive of the meetings, you get my notes, you get all kinds of stuff. Right, it's all explained in the thing, and we have new things coming. So if you're a member and we have a new thing, you just automatically get the new thing. Okay, so read that stuff. But yeah, cool. Let me know if you have questions. Right, if you're interested in being a yearly member, like I said, send me the information. Send me a message, and I'll be happy to share the coupon with you. All right, you guys. Man, I talk too much. Okay, so all right, so I'll be on again. I'm on every Monday, so you can't miss me. All right, every Monday, come back and we'll go over this again, and I'll answer more questions. And by the way, in this server, right, there's a free area. If you're not a member of the Discord server, there's a free area there. And Alex, one of my moderators, Alex, he shares a lot of interesting information about altcoins and stuff. Like he has the time to keep track of that. I don't. He does. And he shares a lot of interesting and also entertaining information at the time. You know, at times it's good. So it doesn't cost you anything. You might as well check it out. Okay, about the trailing stop. Okay, cool. Yeah, I will, Steen. My hands have been full, so I'm gonna check on there. I'll sign on there. I'll actually. I'm not going to be able to sign on there for a couple of hours. You may be sleeping at that time, but I will check and I will respond. Sorry about my delayed response. Okay. All right, cool, you guys. So again, people, thank you for your time with me here today. I hope you got value. Please press the like button. Please press the subscribe button if you like my stream. Check me out on Twitter. I'm putting more stuff on Twitter. Check that stuff out too. It's all there. Okay. Follow me on TradingView. I write an article there every week, and a lot of the stuff that I'm going to talk about today, a lot of it can be found in that article. Okay, the topics that I'm going to go over. All right, so everyone, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your evening, wherever you are in the world, and thank you very much for watching.